Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for supporting me, guys. Shakur Stevenson puts his money on Terence Crawford. Think he will beat Errol Spence? One of the most important fights of this 2023 will take place on July 29th when Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. meet at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The fight draws the attention of the boxing world, and one of the current champions, Shakur Stevenson, already has a winner. Stevenson has worked closely with Crawford, which is why he is the favorite for him. Plus, he has seen everything he does in the gym. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I'm rocking with my brother Crawford forever. I've never really seen nobody work harder than Crawford. I don't know nobody on the planet that works harder than Terence, he commented. Shakur Stevenson lost the interim WBC and WBO Super Featherweight Championships under the scales on September 23, although he defeated Robson Kantequayo but was unable to retain the belts. From that moment, it was said that he would move up to the lightweight division. There, he expects big names like Devin Haney. The former champion is still waiting for the promoter to give him a return date and a rival. Shakur Stevenson skeptical about Gervonta Davis' glass chin. The once labeled unachievable fight is just a week away. The boxing world is invested in the contest between Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford, and rightfully so, given the stakes at hand and the credentials of both fighters. On paper, the bout appears to be a game of inches, and many cannot predict who will take the win home. However, Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, has a clear favorite to win the fight. The lightweight boxer favorite Spence Jr. and discredited Crawford's ability to take punches. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson, the former featherweight Unity champion, does not find merit in his prediction. But why so? Shakur Stevenson undermines the credibility of Gervonta Davis' prediction. Davis and Spence get along well and have shown due respect to one another. In the past, Tank has given Spence a few words of advice, and Spence Jr. has confessed that the Baltimore native is one of his favorite boxers in the sport. Kinda sidering their friendship, Stevenson thinks that Davis' prediction for the fight is tainted. In an interview, he stated, "I think Tank, he is cool with Errol, just like I'm cool with Bud. He is just rocking with his man, but as far as like a glass, is he saying like the chin?" Stevenson went on to state that Crawford has never been defeated, let alone look vulnerable after being hit in his previous bouts. So for Davis to claim that Crawford has a glass chin would be a claim with no substantial. Reflecting on the same, he said, "I don't know how true that is because I haven't seen. After he got hit, he came back even harder, so I don't know how true that is." It is safe to say that Stevenson looks at Tank's prediction from a place of skepticism, but it would be interesting to take a look at how Crawford felt just weeks before the fight. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford are set to finally face off to determine the best welterweight and fighter would stop in many eyes on the planet. The two champions, Spence, the WBA, IBF and WBC, Crawford, the WBO, have been on a long and frustrating collision course that some fans felt would never end up in a fight. That all changed when the pair bypassed the businessman and hoped on a private phone call. The fight was signed not long after for July 29th in Las Vegas. It adds to a stellar year for boxing, which has already seen one of the most financially successful bouts of recent times in Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. In a resurfaced clip, Tank sides with Spence in no uncertain terms and said that he has a better defense than Crawford. He also seems convinced that it could end in a stoppage for the 33-year-old Errol. I know for sure. Imagine we in a gunfight, right? And I got a metal shield, and the opposite person got a glass shield. Who gonna come out on top? It doesn't matter how much he run around. Once of them hands gets on him, it's gonna slow him down. I ain't know if he gonna touch him. The pair clearly back each other, with Spence having revealed early into the year that he put down 20,000 on Tank to beat Garcia. In contrast to Davis' pick, Spence will step through the ropes as a very slight underdog to Crawford, but few boxing fans on the planet can be convinced that it would be one-sided. Having completed their early media obligations, the two 147-pound champions are now deep in training camp for the fight on their lives. That's a banger. Fans excited after George Kambosos Jr. names his next rival. Ahead of his return against Maxi Huggies, George Kambosos Jr. reiterated his desire to face Gervonta Davis. In a recent interview, the former Unified lightweight champion declared that the biggest fight for me is me and Tank Davis. In fact, he even branded the idea of his fight with the Tank a shootout, a dangerous fight for both of us. He is a dangerous fighter, but so am I, declared Kambosos Jr. In this context, he had even mentioned that he would enter the bout against Davis all prepared. Before stepping inside the ring with Huggies this Saturday, in an interview, the Australian boxer called Davis a real warrior and answered if fans would see Kambosos Jr. versus Davis in 2024. Although Kambosos emphasized that his entire focus rested on Huggies for the time being, he declared that he would want to feel his Gervonta Davis' power. Following the statement by Kambosos Jr., fans took to Twitter and offered their opinions about the potential fight. In his interview with Fight Hype, Kambosos Jr. stated that he has fought the best of the best. In this context, contemplating a real fight, he even called Tank a real warrior in the game. I want to feel his power. I'm a fighter and people can do fantasy matchups and wherever they want. I've fought the best of the best, and for anybody, that's a real fight, that's a real warrior, stated Kambosos. Posted a particular quote, several people reacted. Meanwhile, one said that Kambosos, the number 7 lightweight, as the pair Ring magazine, he is a better resume than Tank. What do you think about the potential fight between George Kambosos Jr. and Tank Davis? Share your personal opinion in the comments below. Cake work for Tank. Rumors of Gervonta Davis' the next fight set to take place in his hometown for a total fail to impress fans. Gervonta Davis' rumored next fight, which is for a title and could take place in his hometown, has failed to impress fans. Tank is considered one of the most talented boxers competing today, evidenced by his stunning 29-0 professional record. Of those 29 wins, 27 have come via KO, which has led him to win the WBA regular lightweight title, the IBF super featherweight title, the WBA super featherweight title, and the WBA regular super lightweight title. The 28-year-old last stepped foot in the ring back in April when he competed against Ryan Garcia. The two men put on an absolute show, which eventually saw Davis pick up the KO victory in the 7th round. Now, Gervonta Davis could return to the ring this year after the latest rumors suggest a bout against Chris Colbert is in the works. According to reports, the pair will fight it out for the WBA regular lightweight belt, and it could take place in Davis' hometown of Baltimore, Maryland. Fans have been reacting to the news, with some admitting they're less than impressed with the level of his potential opponent. One fan wrote, "Cake work for Tank." Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.